Morning children. So in the last class we have seen how puppets came into origin on this world based on the life of a king, and we have completed the grammar part in that and the activity part. So now in this class we are going to start a new lesson, and that is about a very famous person. We know there are a lot of famous people in this world, like say for example APJ Abdul Kalam, our previous president. So before becoming a president, he was the chairman or the director of ISRO, and then before that he was a senior scientist over there, and he was a person who developed the missiles like Agni series of missiles, then polar satellite launching vehicles, the kind of rockets that we use to launch satellites into the space, right? So have you ever read about his childhood or his early days? We know this thing. He was a very famous scientist. He was a person who developed these rocket systems, missiles. Then he used to go to the colleges and give teachings. Then he was very famous. He became the president of India. But how has he achieved all these kinds of things? See, this is one very basic part that we all should take care of. How they have become so prominent, so famous. Okay? And that is why these people are called great personalities, like the people like Mahatma Gandhi or Swami Vivekananda or Nelson Mandela, one of the famous leaders of the black people in South Africa. Then there was, this man, Mr. Barack Obama, the previous president of USA. We have plenty of leaders in our country, and there are people around the world. Okay, so when we start to observe, when we start to study their lives carefully, then we come to know a lot about them. And they might have gone through the kinds of hardships, difficulties that we have never gone through. Never ever in our life we had gone through such difficulties. See, for example, we will consider APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, so APJ Abdul Kalam. So where was he born? He was born in the small island region of India, which is an extension of Tamil Nadu, known as Rameshwaram. Okay, it's a small island. There is only hardly one school over there, nothing more than that. But as he studied, he wanted to become an aeronautical engineer. Even as a small child, his dream was to become an aeronautical engineer. But his family was not a rich family. His family was not a rich family to send him to Chennai, then it was Madras. But he struggled, he worked hard, and only through such kind of hard works, he has achieved such greatness. He became an aeronautical engineer. He joined ISRO. He started working there as a junior scientist. He got promoted to the senior scientist. Then he became the chairman there. And after that, he became the advisor for the government of India in the aspects of defense and aeronautical engineering. And then he became a president of India. It's not happening overnight. Not at all happening overnight. And we study, we read, we learn the hardships of these people so that we can get inspiration from them. We have got to such a great school where we are studying. But APJ Abdul Kalam studied in an ordinary government school. If a student studied in such a school can achieve great things, then what about we people who get much more a better education? So what make them different? There are some qualities in them. And in today's class, we are actually going to learn about one particular person. His name is Abraham Lincoln, or he was cutely called as Abe, A-B-E. Right? So Abraham Lincoln, we know, was the 16th President of America. 16th President of America. He always supported the black. He was against slavery. Slavery means what? Yeah. In those days, the Americans had a habit of bringing people from Africa. The black people were brought from Africa, and they were called Negroes. And these Negroes are made servants. They were not given proper food. They were not paid any money, but they have to work like animals throughout the day until they die. Okay, so there was a system called slavery. Abraham Lincoln was against this slavery, and he even made the first attempts to remove slavery from the American soil, and he was shot dead. Okay, he was shot dead by a person who supports slavery, right? So these are the things that we know. So now today we will learn what exactly was happening in his childhood and all. Okay, what kind of a child Abraham Lincoln was, what kind of an education did he had, what was his attitude, how was his family, and all these kinds of things, right? So today in this lesson we are going to learn about Abraham Lincoln, Lincoln the Great, and this we are going to learn through a small girl. Her name is Kirti. Right? So what is her name? Kirti. So Kirti is a small girl, and something is happening in the house of Kirti. And through this thing that is happening there in the house of Kirti, we will learn about Abraham Lincoln. Alright? So, what was happening there in Kirti's house? So, it was an evening. It was an evening. The doorbell rang. Doorbell, the bell that is connected near the front door of the house rang. What does it mean? Somebody is there at the door. Okay, so Kirti went and opened the door, and she found her dad over there. Her father was standing there. But Kirti was surprised. Kirti was surprised because her father had come earlier that day. So usually he will be coming much late. He will be very late to come. But now, on this day, he had come earlier. Right? So, she was quite happy, and she asked her dad, "You have come back home much earlier." So, her dad, his name is Venu. His name is Venu. So, who is Venu? Venu is the father of Kirti. So, he came down, took her up and said, "We are going for a movie." So, she was quite happy. Why was she so happy? Because her father just told that he had come earlier to take her for a picture, for a movie. So she was quite surprised and asked, "Which movie?" Venu said, "Lincoln." The name of the movie is Lincoln. So Kirti said, "Yeah, recently I have read in the newspaper that the Lincoln movie has got some Oscar awards." So, Oscar awards. So, Oscar Awards is actually the highest award that is awarded to the movie actors or in the field of movie. This is awarded by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. So there is an organization by the name the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. This is one of the highest bodies in the world about movies. Okay, so they assess go through the best movies around the world and they give awards, and that award is known as the Oscar Award. Oscar Award is the highest level of international recognition. Okay, in any field of movie making, like it can be acting, it can be directing, it can be writing it can be writing this lyrics, the songs in that, can be music. Our A.R. Rahman has received Oscar awards for his movies in Jai Ho, like the name of the movie was Slumdog Millionaire, right? So in that there is a song called Jai Ho for which he got these awards. Okay, so Oscar awards are the highest international level recognition in the field of a movie. So Kirti said that she does remember that she had read this in the newspaper that this particular movie called Lincoln has got some awards in the Oscar award festivals, and the actor who played the Lincoln's role, so original Abraham Lincoln won't be there to act it, no? So there was an actor. There was an actor who was acting the role of Abraham Lincoln, and he was the person who got this award in the movie Abraham Lincoln. Okay, so one thing we need to notice here now is Kirti was a girl who had the habit of reading newspaper. Okay, so remember, if we have this reading of newspaper, there is a lot of scope for us to know new things and remember those things as well. Okay, now Kirti had this habit of reading newspaper, and then she came to know that this particular movie, Lincoln, has received a lot of recognition, worldwide recognition, and the man who played the role of Abraham Lincoln in the movie Lincoln got an Oscar award also. Okay, and then Venu said, yes, you are right, my dear girl, you are right, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis. So the name of the person is Daniel Day-Lewis, who did the role of Abraham Lincoln in the movie Lincoln, and he got Oscar awards for that acting in that movie.